privilege to be here, standing in front of everyone of you. Thank you for the opportunity for welcoming me among you in the first place. I feel it's very important to share some of the things that goes on in the prison with a lot of you guys that you might not have any idea of. So that's why I titled it, what you're looking at right up there, breaking the cycle of incarceration through choices. But first and foremost, let me tell you a little bit about myself. My name is Bayonle Arashi. I'm covered of few things, but the one that resonates with me the most is my job as a correctional officer with the Texas Department of Criminal Justice. I work at the City Terror Unit right here in Ocean, about 30 minutes drive from here. It's a medical facility, and they bring inmates that have long medical history to the unit. Of course, it doesn't mean that they don't have any crime. I'm also a soccer player, as my mentor used to call me. My work in soccer started way back in 1999 when I began my career as a broadcast journalist. I've had the privilege to travel across the world, funny enough, covering soccer. They call it soccer out here, but you have to forgive me if I'm using the word football, but that's what we call it on a bigger scale. But I know out here it's known as soccer. That's the easy way to make players understand it. I started a soccer academy back home in 2008, and this academy is designed to give young people meaning into their life. And when this academy started, I didn't know it was going to probably help me to define my own purpose as a person as well, but that was what it turned out to be. We're not just teaching these guys how to play soccer, we're also giving them meaning about their life, using their energy that they have as a teenager to use it for something, and also to offer them life skills and vocational education. I myself have a vocational education background. But also, I have been fortunate enough to publish a book, to author a book. Two of them are authored. Only one is published at the moment. Of course, the first one that is published now is about my experience in the soccer industry, which I've done, like I said, for 20 years. It's the only available guidebook that talks about how young players, young teenagers, or whoever that want to have a career in that sport of soccer, and it's of course available everywhere. The second one is about my experience working in the criminal justice system. It's not yet published, definitely, I'm sure you know why. Now, I've only been there for about 5 years now, but it feels like I've been working there for 25 years. Really hard. I titled the book, The Gray in the White Line, Story Behind the Wall. I'm definitely going to share it with you guys once it comes out. Today, like I said, I'm sharing about breaking the cycle of incarceration. But before I do that, I'm going to let you guys have some information that you might not be aware of as regards the kind of people that are currently in prison. I'm not sure you know that the prison has the highest level of people that read books. I have never seen so much reading in my life until I joined that business or that job. I see them, either they go to work, go to school, and all they do is read. They read a lot in prison, guys, just in case you don't know. Secondly, I'm not sure you guys know this as well, that some of the most creative people that you see in the world of arts and music, and just name it, they are incarcerated. They are right there in prison, just probably wasting that talent. And a lot of time I just kind of be like, wow, why are you doing this to yourself? But of course, I'll probably get to that later on. Also, the Bible, I'm sure it's something that a lot of us, some of us here might be spiritual. I am spiritual, I'm a Christian. Most Bible readers that I've seen are in prison. They preach the gospel to each other, they talk about God every time, and you if you're not careful, you probably forget for once that these guys are actually convicted criminals. But of course, these are not just something I'm just talking about. It's based on the fact that I have seen it and I've heard them talk about it. And of course, I also feel that I need to share it as well. And also, I need to share with you about my folks, which are my people, correction officers. Some of the facts you may not know about it, and the reason why you don't see me in training, in meeting all the time, Warren and John, just to let you guys know. In 2021 alone, and this is the data that is available, about 109 officers were assaulted by inmates. And this means that they suffered injuries that first aid could not take care of. They had to be sent to the hospital. It's really tough out there, guys. It's tough. And also, at the moment, 8,000, that's how much shots we have of officers. 8,000 shots. Sometimes I'll be at home working 16-hour shift, and my lieutenant will just call me like, "Hey Arashi, I need you to come to work." And I'll be like, "Look, I just left this morning." I'll be like, "Well, some people called in, you know we're short, we can't leave the unit, not being wrong." And one of the things we are told at the moment is to go out there and talk about retention. Talk to younger people that are willing to come join the service, inform them about the benefits that the job offers, and of course for some of us that are in there, not to leave anytime soon. Even though I'm thinking about it like every day, like I want to leave today, I want to leave tomorrow. But this is one of the things that goes on there. Also, the correctional officers at the moment is ranked #1 in the United States in post-traumatic stress disorder. Believe it or not, we're actually ranked higher, and I think the figure is 34% higher than the guys that have served in the military, which is about 14%. It's a high stress job, very high. But again, if some of us don't come out to share it, you may not know. So I look at all of this and I'm beginning to think, okay, what if we look at the bigger picture? Why is all of this? Why are officers really stressful? What if COs don't have to do so much that we're doing at the moment? And what if we look at this challenge in a bigger way and see how we can be able to control it, and what you can do, what I can do to reduce the rate of recidivism, which is when an offender commits a crime and then they tend to commit it again, and then come back to the prison. Because that is actually what it's been like over the years. Most of them, it takes them a visit of about 2 times into the penitentiary before they realize that, what am I doing with my life? They come the first time, they serve maybe, they have 10 years sentence, they let them serve 5 years, they give them a parole, and they go out. But believe it or not, they're going to commit it again and come right back. Mm-hmm. And that's what has been like the major challenge for some of them that keeps coming. The other thing that I also observe is that the poor choices that many of them are making is actually the huge responsibility of the whole thing. That's what is making it not to make the recidivism rates to reduce. They make poor choices every time they go out. And then I'm going to share an example of maybe 1 or 2 stories with you guys quickly before I round up. There's this inmate that I work with in one of the units I do overtime, because we also do overtime not only in our unit, they send us out of the units to go work in other units. And this guy was telling me his story. I saw him writing all the time. I'm like, "What are you writing?" And he told me, he said, "Boss man," but that's what they call us. "Boss man, I'm just trying to reflect on my life. I'm 40 years old now. I've been here before, and when I came here, I had an encounter with books. One of the books that changed my life was Think and Grow Rich. And believe it or not, boss man, I was able to write down what I was going to do when I get out from that book. And when I did go out, after serving 10 years sentence in California, I was doing it. I was going into modeling, I was getting jobs, but I wanted more. So he wanted to go to a modeling school. And of course, when he went to a modeling school, he's going to pay a lot of money to be able to graduate from it. So he looked at how can he pay that money. He doesn't want to work and save some money to be able to pay for it. So he decided to go for one more big payday. And then he chose to come to Texas to do that. So he made an attempt to rob a jewelry store, and he was caught. And he was sent back again. And that's the term he's serving right now. So he's telling himself that he's hoping that as soon as he leaves this time around, he's going to go do the right thing that he should have done in the first place. The other story that I think could not leave my head is for this inmate, just 23 years old, at Mark W. Styles unit. Mark W. Styles is a maximum unit. This guy was placed on CDO, that is constant direct observation. And what did he do? He set himself on fire. He set his mattress on fire in his own cell. And then he has to be placed on CDO. And the only person that can place them on CDO is the mental health official. So when he's placed on CDO, they have to assign one officer to him alone to be watching him 24 hours a day. So when I saw this young man, I had to ask him, why did you do that? So he looked at me and was like, you have no idea, boss. 3 of my brothers at the moment are in prison. I'm the second one, I'm 23, my elder brother is 28, he's serving a life sentence, and the younger one is just 18 years old. And he's serving, what happened? So he told me the story quickly. He said he used to be an ATM thief. And one of the days that they went for operation, I think he was greedy. He didn't share what he was supposed to share with some of his friends. And those ones decided to attack. So they wanted to catch him at one of the malls that he wanted to do groceries. So when they saw them, he called for backup. And the person they called was his brother, his elder brother. So when his elder brother was coming, he decided to grab the younger one as well. So 3 guys from the same parents are on the crime scene right now. So once the brother showed up, he opened fire, killed one of the guys immediately on the spot, and the rest fled the crime scene. So they went ahead to try to clear the crime scene by grabbing the bullet shell, take the possession of the person that was already dead, and they went ahead and post whatever they got from this person on Facebook, try to show that they're tough, and that was how they gave themselves up. So the other brother is serving maximum sentence. He's going to be there for 35 years. By the time he gets out at 23, he will probably be 50, 60, who knows? And that's really, really something that I feel, when I look at it, okay, I ask myself, what can I do, with all this? I cannot just, being an officer is good. I love serving my community. I am really, really, it's a job that I'm very privileged to do. If I look at where I come from and standing in front of you guys today and doing the job I do, I have to really appreciate that about myself. So I decided to put myself out there. That I have a skill in terms of training young kids from back home, where I work in TV, I work in soccer. So I decided to say, okay, I'm going to share my knowledge. I'm going to go out there and then find out what is my own why. What do I want to do? So I decided to say, okay, I will be inspiring young teenagers from now on. I will go to high school, I will do coaching, be able to have access to some of you guys that work in a different sector where some of these teenagers can really be accessed and be talked to let them know that the life in there is a different world out there than what you see. If you are fortunate every day to drive to Walmart, to drive to McDonald's or whichever store you like and buy whatever you want for yourself and go home, you have no idea there's another world out there. So I hope to really inspire the younger generation, encourage them to be able to build leaders in different sectors so that we can be able to help them to know that you cannot continue a life of crime. But I feel one more thing though, I feel you guys that are sitting right here also, you have work to do. I'm doing mine. I already told you what I want to do. And of course, we have work to do with our parenting staff. It's very, very important. I just most of you here are senior citizens. Some of us here are also young. We are parents, and we have work to do with how we parent these kids. We have work to do with how we deal with any sort of abuse. Because one of the things I also observed is that most of these guys were abused one way or the other while they were growing up. And it's very, very important that we all take care of that. Because I feel that if we really paid attention to the high chair, there might be no reason why we would need an electric chair. So I really appreciate you guys for listening to this short presentation, and God bless you. Thank you guys for listening. If you have any questions, I'll be ready to answer it. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And we're all have probably just been right there and could have been in prison ourselves, you know, in DWI or now being a cop, you know. I mean, you know, anything can happen these days, but I mean, it's just right there. So thank you for what you're doing.